Alright guys, we are back here in LaSalle, Illinois, outside of the city council meeting. I do not have time to give much of an intro as it starts like right now, and I just got here. So we'll see how it goes. See what the cop in there is. Oh, that was weird. It unhooked for me. I didn't bring my tripod, but I did bring a monopod.
Second.
Motion on LaVerie, second on Jepson, all in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Does anybody want to speak tonight on this? Any thoughts?
Want to give us a little intro, Kurt?
Yeah, background on it. So, this is a new well, community-funded project that the city had received $500,000 from Warren Underwood's office to go towards this project. It is a funded project will go through the USDA rural development. The reason for this project is that, my understanding is that the current well that we have is a shallow well, which is located in a floodplain, and this new well will be a deep well.
So we're gonna use this money towards, trying to use that help?
Trying to get all set up here. Hey Lou.
No, there's no match. This is something legislative through Representative Underwood's office, who yearly they have community funded projects that you can make recommendations to, and they will kind of fund it for you.
Is this one of them that we've had a resolution on previously for operations?
Yes.
I thought in that resolution, it also referenced there had been some other funds to the system.
I believe that's a different one.
This is specifically for drilling of the deep well. It doesn't have any treatment or other studies that go along with the actual well. Now, that will allow us to assess our power needs based on the depth of the well and be able to come up with the water quality, so we know what we need to do, either blending with the current wells that we have in the well field that is in a floodplain. It gives us the backup or additional water source that we need for future growth and expansion. So it's a very critical element to get this well in. Now, since our initial thoughts on the well, the drilling of the well, we knew it would be a little north of $500,000, but it's actually substantially more than that, just from recent conversations we've had. And Attorney McFedrin mentioned about that other funding as part of the construction of the new well, the power backup, and everything that goes with water treatment plant. We are looking at getting another low interest or long-term low interest loan from EPA to do the other parts of the well. And the funding for that is, if the construction cost is more than $500,000, it is, you can go back and recoup your money in that low interest loan period. So there is some benefit there. My initial understanding is that the low interest loan amount maximum is $5 million with up to 80% forgiveness. So we're gonna want to, maximize our efforts and get as much of that as we can. And a portion of that will be for the actual well house, the power backup and everything we need.
Brian, do we know what the low interest loan rate is right now? Or is that just
It fluctuates based on your need
Okay.
and your low to moderate, it's around 1%.
That's what I was thinking, 1%.
We have one, I think, at 0.83, but I think the most recent one is a little over 1.
So as usual, I had to cut my speech down, but look who gets to make an appearance tonight. That's Jim Bianchi, if you guys remember the sandwich police chief. Down here is the, it was the thumbnail from San Joaquin that I happened to find today. So I was like, I should print that one too. They're doing a hearing for a well real quick, and then I think we start.
Maybe that's something you recommend we should do with other locations? Or are you talking about the grant?
I was talking about,
I don't know if you think there's a should be other locations for a deep well. I think we're looking right at the pump station, that we're looking right now.
Well, right at the treatment
Yeah.
plant in that vicinity. And I think we have to drill like 2,200 or 2,800 feet to determine the depth of where the aquifer is. I think Crew is at, what, about 800 feet, Kevin? Their pumps,
Yeah, the pumps are, yeah.
about 800 feet, so.
Any comments from the public on this?
How many wells do we have right now?
We have a total of 6 wells.
And he said it's gonna replace one of the shallow wells, this deep one?
Well, it'll replace quite a few. We're planning on getting quite a bit more water out of this deep well with bigger aquifer.
Okay.
I don't think we're planning on abandoning
Yeah.
any of the wells, but what it does, it gives us additional capacity where if a well becomes non-producing, like it isn't worth it to repair it, it allows us to abandon that well. But we're not planning on abandoning, like replacing it. It's only in addition to what we have now.
New comments from the public hearing. Hearing nothing, can I have a motion to close the public hearing? So moved, Your Honor. Second. Motion Alderman Thompson, second Alderman Reynolds to close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carried. Then to open up the part of me for our regular public comment. Again, during this time, I personally will be making sure you have your allotted time to speak, any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, comments. Be that respect. Again, you please come up and let us know who you are, even if we've seen you before, just so we have it on the notes. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Brianne Hicks. I have a couple questions, concerns that we've kind of already discussed at the meetings that I haven't really gotten specific answers for, so I want to keep bringing those up. The packets, so the information, with the bids and certain information that we don't discuss within the meetings. Why is this information not provided to the public? I don't really see the point of a city meeting to discuss it if we don't have the information to discuss along with you guys. Madison Park, I did check that out over the weekend. It's looking kind of rough. I was curious as to what the purpose of the big gravel lot is next to the concession stand. I also was wondering if we were going to get more trees, wildlife, things, plant life. The top coat, the top cover caps for the fence are literally hanging off. They're all old and faded, and so I was wondering if we could do anything about that. The burn pile of the yard waste was another thing I did want to address. Our air quality is already kind of questionable, so I was wondering if there was another alternative that we could do instead of burning it. We could compost it is an alternative that I thought of, because we can even sell the compost for profit, so that would be kind of a win-win, like better for the environment, for the residents, and then also for the city, because we could get a profit out of that. I had brought up before the containers, empty containers of plastic marinade outside of Paris. That's issue. I don't really take it being empty as a proper way of addressing that issue. I have reached out to the Illinois and the US EPA, so I'm still waiting for responses on that as well. I did kind of discuss with Jordan about some ideas or areas I had that should, for the curves being painted yellow, so that, I know it is sort of knowledgeable for us that we know that parking in front of a fire hydrant is illegal. However, that may not be common sense. People may not know that. So just, getting the curbs painted so that it's more visible to people and visitors not parking in front of fire hydrants. I think that was all I had, so thanks.
John Hicks. On many occasions, Jeff, you have stated that people can get a hold of you if they have questions or concerns. And yet you chose not to contact me after I left my number and what the problem was with your receptionist, even when it was quite potentially a life or death issue. You hired a rent a card at the yard waste dump, but you can't give them the most basic things. Then in Jeff Grove form, you blame them for begging you for shade, electricity, a bathroom, so they're not exposing themselves on the side of the road. If someone was having a medical emergency, do you wait until they beg you to call 911? Do you walk away because it's not your problem? You lack empathy and common sense, Jeffrey. You have proven time and time again that you don't give a shit about women, elderly, or even our vets. You do what's best for you and screw everyone else who doesn't make you look great. And for anyone who says that you're a great guy, disagree with him and you'll see the real Jeff Grove. Hell, we witnessed that in this very room.
Yep.
Oh, and what happened to alerting the public when we're going to burn the yard waste? Back in October, we were told you would give the town a heads up. You didn't do that. I even brought it up to Brett Bader after my severe asthma attack, and his response was, he'll talk to you about it. Once again, there seems to be nothing but lies coming from you. You are putting people's lives at risk and you don't even care. And if y'all don't start calling him out on his lies and bad behavior, then you're just as bad. Also, I'd like to address your allegation of me sexually harassing John Duncan. I understand your confusion on what sexual harassment actually is, seeing as though you are a privileged middle-aged white male. The only thing you know about it is what you learned in a class. I suggest you ask any female between the ages of 12 and 99 what sexual harassment is. You might actually learn something.
You ready, John?
Yep.
Over the past 3 years, I have worked on my stories in 5 states and hundreds of communities. Many of those communities have made positive changes following my visits. Yet Mayor Grove claims I get up here for a stage. For 5 minutes, 2 Mondays a month, this is the people's stage, yet you publicly shame those who speak up. Chief, you guys ticket property owners for high grass as it's a nuisance and eyesore. Did you know that all last week in the first 2 days of Celebrate LaSalle, the Grove Center, owned by your mayor, had what appeared to be a drunken mullet? The grass at the main entrance stood taller than my ruler. What a way to represent LaSalle, having a jungle in front of the WIC office. Speaking of jungle, both back doors had vines across them. Let's hope the women, babies, and employees don't have to run from a fire. I'd like to acknowledge the work of Little Duncan and Brent Bader. They did an excellent job on the Celebrate LaSalle videos. I have no choice but to question how there's money for that, but no money to replace these messed up microphones. Due to the actions of the police chief, mayor, and Mr. Dunkey, I decided not to waste a few $100s this year to celebrate LaSalle being ran by, well, corrupt jerks. Mistakes happen, but none of these fellas were man enough to apologize for their behaviors. The city of LaSalle wanted to have residents host a citywide garage sale, yet where was the support from Mayor Grove? From the city's Facebook page? Did you guys really think that you shouldn't promote the map with these sales on it? Kurt, the economic developer, congrats to Kurt, the economic developer, for having it on the Celebrate LaSalle page. At least one person made the effort. After I spoke to Kurt, the other city pages did finally share the map, but it shouldn't have taken that. In fact, I had my own garage sale in Peru on those same days. So more customers for me, right? You guys were trying to screw over my competition. Not on my watch. During last week's brutal heat, I called City Hall questioning why no announcement had been made welcoming the residents without access to air conditioning into our public buildings during the day. After getting the runaround, it was pretty clear not only are the people not welcome, the city leadership just doesn't give a damn about their well-being. I also spoke to Peru and other communities about the same issue. Within half an hour of leaving the city hall in Peru, they had a post up welcoming anyone to come keep cool. Their police department also received a visit from me and separately posted that hot humans are welcome there too. This isn't your building, it's the people's building. When I was surrounded and backed into a corner here that day, 2 of the 4 of you had firsthand knowledge of my PTSD. When Mike was insisting I leave, I was demanding he back up from my space and that I didn't need to be surrounded. I was told too bad by the chief. He knew he was simply strong-arming me. He knew I did nothing to be removed from the building because I did nothing wrong. And if I did do wrong, he wouldn't have walked away. You guys have a funny way of risking your citizens' tax money. Mike, you should have been better than that. It's a crime to retaliate against me for my coverage and my redress. Did you hear that, John Duncan? You too. The only other chief who ever treated me that way was Jim Bianchi. Due to my incident and his multiple other issues as chief, he's no longer working for that department in any capacity. Then again, I suppose that town does a better job of holding people accountable. You guys accused Dawn of sexual harassment, yet when I pushed back about Chief's comments about lower-ranking officers, there was silence. See how easy it is to claim anything may be sexual harassment? I think you boys missed the whole point. You should all be disgusted with yourselves for not announcing that you're burning even after residents complain by those with health issues. Why would you not warn them? Of course, you could care less about notifying those with breathing problems. We see how you treat women, children, public speakers, people of color, wheelchair users. Speaking of wheelchairs, why has Rotary Park not been fixed yet? With the way you guys violate rights, leave massive safety issues, and spend 5 figures to keep Jamie Hicks out of here, the people of LaSalle must have plenty of expendable money. To end, I'm forced to have this moment of silence for anyone treated, hospitalized, or now dead due to heat exposure because the corrupt white men running this city could give a damn less about the residents.
Your 5 minutes are up.
Thanks, Gumball.
Anybody else like to address the council? For public comment.
I'm gonna switch it to my other phone holder. Hey, girl. You're cocksuckers. Be careful. It's terrible. I love it. I was wondering what that meant if I had it. That's right to the right of Grove, what you were looking at. Choosing that. He was not shaking it like a girl. And I was hoping I caught it on camera, but I did because I knew Grove. That's kind of what it was. Wasn't all bad. Hold on, I gotta get my.
Center for Youth and Family Solutions.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the request for the raffle license
Oh,
for the
fuck.
Center for Youth and Family Solutions.
Well, I royally fucked up and only brought this one in like this mode instead of the other one. So I'm gonna try and see what's up. Semper, I'm at the LaSalle City Hall in Illinois. I didn't bring the right account permit for this, so maybe I won't be able to do it. I don't think I can turn this while I'm on live stream, right? I don't think so. Alright, I'm going back in.
Recently, 8 separate solar panel companies filed bankruptcy. Some of the big ones, they were eaten up by some other ones. I just want to point out that although it's very, very difficult to stop people to receive permits, go door to door, I highly recommend our citizens have soliciting signs which we provide for free. If anybody would like me to deliver one to their house, just call me. My number's on the webpage, and I'll even bring one up. But keep in mind that it's a very good thing, but do your research. Please do your research and understand 25-year contracts with a company that might not be in existence down the road. You really need to get that deep. Thank you.
And really quick, I want to add to that too. This may not be the last time we see Everbright on this list. They do have other solicitors they want to have come to town. I got information from very late. They had a lengthy list of solicitors that they want to send, not all at one time. Varying times, I think they're going to have people come in and out. Obviously, our ordinance allows that every one of those solicitors does have to fill out an application. The business meets all specifications. So assuming those solicitors pass the police background check, they will also be before it probably meets next meeting is not.
All right, good time, obviously, good point on the postal service line, just so you know, we are ordering more, because we need some out here recently.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
we will be replenishing it, but, I think people are really more vigilant now on posting their requirements. Thank you. Continue on.
Can we get a motion on?
We had.
Oh, we get a motion?
No.
I don't think we did
Okay.
with that one.
We have a motion and a second. This person has filled out the required paperwork, so please.
And everybody passed the background, like.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
No, one didn't.
Yeah, none of those other ones are, they gave us the names, we ran background checks on all of them. One person did not come before the council, but they did not have applications for all those solicitors. So they passed background checks. The only one that actually had an application turned in by the deadline is Mr. Burke.
Your Honor, I make a motion, we grant the request for solicitor permit for Taylor Bird from Everbright.
I'll second it. Motion on Thompson, some on Hernan. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Request for solicitor's permit for Prit Patel, Nicholas Stevenson, Christia Tolliver, Emily Woods, and Stephen Grant from AV Marketing and Related Matters.
Tis the season.
Your Honor, I move that we grant the solicitor's permit for Rick Patel, Nicholas Stevenson, Christina Tolliver, Emily Woods, and Stephen Grant.
Second.
Motion on Hernan, some on Reynolds. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Request from Robert Chico Perez of Abundant Life Fellowship for a special event permit from Thursday, July 25th, 2024 to Sunday, July 28th, 2024 to use city-owned property at the northeast corner of First and Tante Streets in LaSalle for a horse riding event and related matters.
Your Honor, I move that we grant the request from Chico Press.
Yeah, can I ask Mr. Perez a question? I just want to make sure, obviously, any horse manure and everything will be cleaned up.
Yeah, they cleaned up everything.
Right,
You
they
just
did.
a couple of months ago, I believe.
Okay, and are they ponies or horses?
Both.
Both, okay, thank you very much. I second Tom's.
And everybody has insurance and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we talked about that, this is based on, the approval is based on the fact that we're able to provide that to us. I spoke to him before this, he's aware of what is required.
Thank you. Motion by Alderman Tax, Alderman Thompson, take the roll, please.
Yes. Alderman Massler.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Katak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herman.
Aye.
Crane.
Reports to city officers. Communications.
Illinois Department of Revenue report showing sales tax collected for March 2024 of $98,014.64 and home rule sales tax of $83,718.35 for a total of $181,732.99.
I move that we accept the Department of Revenue report as read based on file with each and every element of the copy.
Motion by Alderman Tax, Alderman Berry, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Thank you letter from North Central Area Transit.
Your Honor, I move we accept and place on file a thank you letter from North Central Area Transit.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Jefferson, Alderman Reynolds, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Bids. Appointments and resignations.
Resignation of LaSalle Police Officer Jordan Strange.
Accept that resignation. I just
So
want
I
everybody to know
move that we
for
accept the resignation of the Southwood Sunset Road Street.
Second.
motion by Alderman Hernandez, Alderman Thompson, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Just for point of order, during the next interview, this gentleman just, not continuing that profession, so, just so you guys know, it's not like he has to work with us.
Come on.
We wish him well. Standing committees, special committees.
Planning Commission recommendation regarding the request of Green Monk LLC, contract purchaser from Cannon Farm Venture LLC, Lyle Sitterly, for the issuance of a special use permit related to proposed construction and operation of 55,000 square foot cannabis craft grow facility on premises commonly known as 745 Cannon Parkway, LaSalle, Illinois, and related matters.
Mayor, I can indicate that there's a representative here from Green Monk, and this was brought before the planning commission. In fact, Your Honor, the mayor was there, as were several aldermen and some other members of the public. And it passed unanimously before the planning commission, and it was also brought up that it would be subject to such other conditions as the council deemed appropriate in the circumstances, and it was discussed with the gentleman who was representing Green Monk that some of the provisions which are in the proposed special use allowance to approve would include that the granting would be further subject to Green Monk acquiring title to the premises in a year from the date that the ordinance would be enacted. Secondly, that Green Monk would comply with all of the rules and regulations of the city of LaSalle regarding building permits and other requirements of LaSalle ordinances. And additionally, that obtaining a special use permit would have to comply with all other governmental rules and regulations of any other entity, and also include, not limited to, obtaining any other necessary licenses and or permits from a government agency, such as would be required in regard to obtaining permits in regard to cannabis. The permit possibly may be assigned, but only with the consent of the city, not without that. And additionally, notwithstanding anything else, contain the exact location of the solar, this would be in regard to the cannabis operation, first of all. That would be subject to the approval of the building inspector and the city engineer. And then additionally, aside from any other reasons as to why the permit might terminate, that if it's not operational for a period of a year and a half, it would automatically terminate, and if you need longer than that to get operation, you can actually ask for extension. As I understood it, the gentleman representing Green Mountain was, and these are similar, along the same similar parameters in regard to the solar panels, so we don't have to go through them all again. They would be in the ordinance, that would be considered as far as the additional considerations and contingencies by the city, and as I understand it, sir, representing, could you state your name for the record? Step up there, please.
Jeff Scales for Green Monk LLC.
Is it correct, sir, you're one of the owners of Green Mountain?
I am.
And you testified before the planning commission, we went over the things I just talked about, and if you understood it, you're willing to abide by that, correct?
Correct.
And also understood that there's other nuisance ordinances in regard to the city and the state that you would have to abide by those too.
Correct.
And from what I understand, you're looking to work with the city of LaSalle and cooperate in regard to this endeavor, correct?
Absolutely.
How many employees do you indicate that you might be employing?
For the craft grow, it's, we'll start with 20 to 25, and then it's seasonal work. As we harvest and as we need more employees, we bring them on every 5 to 8 weeks, for a week and a half.
And as I understand, your company is a contract purchaser from the owner at the present time. I presume one of the conditions is to get the city to cooperate and work with it.
Correct.
That's all the questions I have for any member of the council who.
How much time between planting and harvest is there?
So we do a cycled system, so we'll have 5 harvests a year. So even though it's a 55,000 square foot building, we're gonna break them up into 1,500 square foot rooms. So the process of getting from seedlings up to flowering, it's a constant process.
Okay.
So we hope to harvest 5 to 6 times a year is what our plan is. And I'd like to say that the 55,000 square foot building, we're only allowed 15,000 square feet of canopy. It is not all for the grow, it's for processing, packaging, marketing, all the rest of it is all housed here. This is a hub center for packaging and producing edibles and other products.
So my question would be, what actually is gonna be the facility? Is it actually is, you're gonna be actually make edibles and stuff at your facility?
Correct. Yeah, everything, we'll have a grow facility there and 15,000 square feet of the building, and then the rest of part of it will be a kitchen to produce all this. Nothing will be sold to the public from there. It's a locked building. Anybody that needs or wants access needs to go through the stage, needs to go through us, double doors, a sally port, and then everything gets shipped out to dispensaries around the city.
Alderman Tack, excuse me, Alderman Tack was in there, Alderman Berry, myself, so a lot of good questions, a lot of good discussion. He was very forthcoming with everything. There's not gonna be anything sold, correct?
Correct.
You're basically warehousing for, not just your own,
So they're gonna be finished products leaving your facility?
Correct.
But not retail sales from there.
No retail sales from there. They have to go to a dispensary. We're not allowed to sell anything from there.
And separate from that, but part of your plans includes the solar farm. You want to explain that a bit?
So growing cannabis or marijuana is very electric heavy industry. We've got HVAC systems that are constantly running, recycling the air. The lights are constantly running, just the whole system is there. So to offset the carbon footprint, we want to partner it with the solar field. So that's why we chose a 50+ acre piece of property so that we can offset some of that. But then we also want to use our solar field to pump electricity back into the grid for local residents. So I think right now we're only using about 15% of the solar field for our facility. The rest of it will be pumped back to Cameron and City of LaSalle.
So where I stop in here, has this project been engineered?
Not fully, no, because we came here to get just the basic idea of what we're doing. We will need approval from you guys that this is something that you want in your community before we go spend, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, building everything or getting everything ready for build.
So when would you like to start the project?
We're kind of running at it right now. I was in another community 4 months ago, and the neighbors, we were too close to the residential neighbors. They didn't want it. I said, I'm not welcome. I don't want to be here. If we've got hassle, I don't want to be here. So we left. We jumped over to here, and we're kind of ready to go. We've got, our suppliers lined up, our growers lined up, our contractors lined up. We're working with Grow America, who's done as a general contractor who's built, I think, 20 of these facilities plus 40 dispensaries around the U.S.
So they'll be general contractors?
They will, yeah.
Or will they sub out the work to local employee or local contractors?
We will, yeah, we will go for this.
Could you share with the planning commission, could you share with the council, here, some?
You made me giggle with that whole comment about him needing the edibles. And then I almost choked on like the spit stuff from my gum. Yeah, they ran off a cop in like 2 months. The new cop. We always tell them to use the microphones, they never do.
For the building, and then our build out for the craft grow can be 3 million to 12 million. It can go up from there as, you know, HVAC prices and everything else goes up as it has been lately. It's, you know, it can fluctuate.
Do you have room to grow on that site? Or are you pretty much building what you have?
We're building what we need. I think we'd have room to grow. I think that even the 55,000, we might be a little bit large at this point, but it just depends on how things play out and what else we'll be doing there. But I think about 55,000 square feet is great.
We hope that you found us open for business and hoping very well we can get you guys an application for this. And again, so glad you're here. We're not expecting you to leave us.
Yeah, it's
Whatever,
a community.
But
Yeah.
sounds like you gave your ducks in a row and a lot of good questions, you know, of course, from this group here too, so.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm curious, why did you choose this song?
We found a piece of property. It fits criteria. We've looked all across the state. This is probably the 4th time I've started in with the city, 2nd time in front of the council, but it fit the criteria. 1,500 linear feet from a school, the rest of it, and a community that wants to have something like this in their town. So, and I like the south. I've been coming here for years. We go for my wife's birthday to Star Walk, and we cruise around, and we take it here. So it worked out, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll move that we accept the recommendation for your planning commission.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Patek, second by Alderman Jefferson.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Bassador.
Aye.
Planning Commission recommendation regarding the request of Green Monk LLC, contract purchaser from Cannon Farm Venture LLC, Biocity, for the issuance of a special user permit regarding the installation of a solar farm at premises commonly known as 745 Cannon Parkway, LaSalle, Illinois, and related matters.
Your Honor, I move that we grant, accept the recommendation for the planning commission for Green Monk.
Second.
Related matters.
Motion by Alderman Patek, second by Alderman Thompson, take the roll, please.
Alderman Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LeBerry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Bassador.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Recommendation of the Planning Commission on the request of LaSalle City Council for consideration of potential amendment of the LaSalle zoning ordinance number 590 as the same may have been from time to time amended in corresponding code sections thereunder regarding consideration of clarification and amendment of zoning ordinance regarding further regulation of that which are commonly referred to as container units and/or container buildings and related matters.
Mayor, as was discussed before the planning commission, first of all, I think it's appropriate that the public understands what the planning commission discussed as far as what we're talking about in regard to container storage units and their container buildings. And they were basically discussed as a container unit and or container building is hereby defined as including each and all of the following. 1, any unit and or structure that utilizes an intermodal shipping container as a structural or design element thereof. And or 2, any unit originally and or specifically used or designed to store goods or other merchandise during shipping and or hauling by a vehicle, including but not limited to rail cars of any kind, truck trailers, or multimodal shipping containers. And or 3, any building, including but not limited to any dwelling that has been converted from a steel shipping container. And all of these were the types of, that were indicated in the recommendation, and the planning commission recommendation was to recommend to the city council, this is just paraphrasing it, not word for word, but in general, to allow these prospectively only in zoning, which would be zone M1 and or M2, and then only if the specific premises involved obtain a special use permit in regard to those premises. And they also brought up another potential exception. They also said it would be subject to such other conditions as the city council would deem just and appropriate, and one other point did come up from the planning commission here, which I'll bring up when we consider the ordinance. And each and every alderman has copies, I understand now, of the planning commission recommendation.
Your Honor, I'll move that we accept the recommendation from the planning commission.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tax and Alderman Reynolds. Take the roll, please.
Alderman Reynolds.
Aye.
LaBerry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Pastor.
Aye.
Thompson.
No.
Patak.
Aye.
Recommendation of the planning commission on the request of the LaSalle City Council for consideration of potential amendment to LaSalle zoning ordinance number 590, as the same may have been from time to time amended in corresponding code sections thereunder regarding consideration of clarification and amendment of zoning ordinance.
These goobers don't want people to come into City Hall or the police department or the library or nothing to escape the heat, even though it's like the poorest town in our area. But then they're trying to vote to fucking have it so people can't have those little container homes. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Motion by Alderman Herndon, and Alderman Thompson to accept the recommendation of the finance committee.
And for the
Sorry,
record,
planning commission.
Mayor, can you explain what some of these definitions were? We're not talking about every grocery store and or gas station or anywhere else that just may happen to sell some cigarettes or something. A retail tobacco store is defined and or as being a business used as a retail tobacco store provided, and the retail tobacco stores are specifically defined in the ordinance as including a retailer whose main purpose is the sale of regulated smoking products for either on-premises and or off-premises consumption of a retail establishment that devotes more than 15% of its floor area to regulated smoking products and or receives 40% or more of its revenue related in some manner to regulated smoking products is defined therein. The regulated smoking products are further defined therein, and they include any of the following: cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, tobacco products, alternative nicotine products, and smoking accessories. And it was also discussed, and it will come up in the ordinance, will have a specific exception for it, that notwithstanding anything else contained therein, that will not affect the regulation of cannabis dispensaries, which is regulated by other ordinances within our ordinance, and that will be contained within the ordinance.
And current businesses are grandfathered in, right?
Pardon?
Current businesses are grandfathered.
Yes, when the ordinance, both this ordinance and the one in regard to container storage units, provide that it is also subject as required by law to the provisions regarding pre-existing uses, which means they are from a practical standpoint grandfathered in their current form. As long as we're discussing the exception, the other exception in regard that will be in the ordinance in regard to the container units will be that it was discussed that the ordinance will not affect any storage container unit for storage purposes, provided it's there for temporary use only for a period of not less than 30 days. That was not specifically part of the planning commission. They left it to be city council for some things, but that's something that I think the mayor wants to propose, and it was also brought up by Alderman LaBerry as something that would be also make sense for people who are using these things for short periods of time for moving, and for businesses who use them for short periods of time only in regard to storage, but not to affect the aesthetic area on a long-term basis.
So not more than 3 days, right?
Not more than 30 days, correct.
Perfect.
That would be in the ordinance. This
That
is
last
just on the plan.
statement there, Mr. McFetter, that you stated, that doesn't affect like a grocery store or a convenience store or anything, that they have products where they're not being able to sell very often, that they don't have, too much customers or something like that, you know, and, you know, if the distributor don't take them back or anything like that, we're not going to get you anything like that, that
No.
doesn't,
That's what-
does the word specifically take care of that?
You're correct, Alderman, that's why one of the first things we mentioned in the discussion was that it only applies to establishments that have more than 15% of the floor area to regulated smoking products, and that wouldn't apply to those types of things, and or if they got more than 40% of their income from. So, place
Alderman
itself.
is referencing the cargo, the containers.
Oh, on the containers? What was the question again on the containers? I'm sorry, I missed.
You say like, we talked about, Dr. Berry brought up about like Dollar
No.
General had a.
That's correct, it won't apply to them. It won't apply to them, that's what we said. It will not apply to those. I'm sorry, I misunderstood the questions.
That's right. A lot of balls in here. Is that what you're talking about, Alderman? Okay, no, I'm sorry, you were right. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I thought he mentioned it.
Yeah, you should.
What's council pleasure?
I did get a motion. I got a motion. In a second.
Let's take the vote.
Yes. Alderman LaVerne. Aye. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Vassar.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
And Reynolds.
Aye.
Old business.
Authorization of pay request number 4 for Autobahn Company, Inc., totaling $51,764.66 for work completed today on masonry restoration project and related matters.
Your Honor, I move we authorize the payment to Autobahn Company for a total of $51,764.66 for work completed to date on the masonry restoration product and related matters.
Second. Motion, Alderman Vassar, some Alderman Reynolds. Take the vote, please.
Alderman Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
I'd like to add in this, great old building's looking better and better every day. Yes. Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Vassar.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Patak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
LaVerne.
Under old business,
We start, we've been talking about it for a while, and it was a matter of trying to get a contractor out there. Let's to update Rotary Park. You can see some work around that retaining wall to try to make things a little safer and a little more accessible for parents. So this is along that wall to keep basically kids from going between the wall and the ground. This will also be a seating area. Mr. Dean Teeman sent me these pictures today. He's actually on vacation in North Carolina with his wife visiting family, but he wanted to make sure we had these for the meeting. He knows it's a priority. He said when he gets back in town, he'll go ahead and put some of those sunshades up for him to see how it works. And we decided we like that type style or if we want to do something else. But again, this would be a nice, couple picnic tables on there. People bring the regular chairs they want and we'll have some shade there. So again, I think we're in good shape there. Obviously not a finished product, but I want to make sure you guys have an idea where we're at. So everybody might not get a chance to get out there. As far as old business as well, obviously we had a great weekend this past weekend with Celebrate LaSalle. The weather basically cooperated as much as possible. We're holding our fest Saturday night, but it held out. Definitely want to appreciate our sponsors. I'm actually wearing a 5K shirt that was, I didn't run 5K. But, sponsored by Jim Federer's office. We definitely appreciate that and his firm. Those are things that help us keep going. We did actually have a record turnout for the 5K, 88 runners. On that 5K, Alderman Jefferson, Alderman Thompson helped with traffic control. Definitely appreciate that. Of course, all our volunteers, our sponsors, Public Works, Police, Fire, of course, you guys, the City Council, make sure we do these events. And I also want to appreciate Jordan, part-time doctor, was at 50, so I appreciate you guys for that. So just a great weekend, a lot of positives. Again, it's not always about what we make, but it's always about getting people out there. And I think we had something for everybody. It's nice to see a lot of people out there, especially Friday night. So thank you all for that. Anything else on our budget? New business.
Discussion of potential approval of annual downtown sidewalk program and related matters.
Brian and I kind of went through that project, guys, kind of listed it out for you guys to look at. Obviously, not a done deal until we get the bids back. Those are kind of suggestions we had. Probably heavy hitters would be that stage 212. That's not like those are just to give a little heads up on that, because it is on that wall. That's support while there. But again, when we get the, bids back, obviously you guys do make the choice, if we need to carry anything back or go with it. Any thoughts on that?
Also in the sidewalk bid, I hope to have them out tomorrow, to get, so we can look at, either awarding it or at least review it at the next council meeting. I'm also including the National Fitness Campaign pad to get the exercise, facility out at Rotary Park. It's gonna be a separate bid item, but it's gonna be in that bid packet.
Yeah, I move that we, approve the annual downtown sidewalk program and related matters.
Second. Motion on the tax, on Reynolds, to approve the least amount bid for sure, right?
Yeah.
On the sidewalk program. Take the roll, please.
Alderman Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Bassler.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Attack.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Any other new business? Discussion, potential action on the following additional ordinance resolutions.
An ordinance authorizing the granting of a special use permit within the city of LaSalle, South County, Illinois regarding a cannabis craft grow facility and related matters. Green Monk LLC, contractor purchaser from Cannon Farm Venture LLC, Lyle Sitterly.
Your Honor, I move we approve the ordinance authorizing the granting of a special use permit within the city of LaSalle, LaSalle County, Illinois regarding a cannabis craft grow facility and related matters.
Second. Motion on Jefferson, Alderman Green, take the roll, please.
Alderman Crane.
Aye.
Bassler.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Attack.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Ordinance authorizing the granting of special use permit within the city of LaSalle, South County, Illinois regarding solar farm and related matters. Green Monk LLC, contractor purchaser from Cannon Farm Venture LLC, Lyle Sitterly.
Your Honor, I ask that the council approve the ordinance authorizing granting special use permit within the city of LaSalle, LaSalle County, Illinois, regarding the solar farm related matters, Green Monk LLC, contract purchaser from Cannon Farm Venture LLC. Everybody has a copy.
Second.
Motion on Thompson, second on Reynolds, take the roll, please.
Alderman Bassler.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Attack.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
And each and every alderman has a copy of those ordinances, with the matters that we also discussed previously. Have the following ordinances with the additions that will be by interlineation that we talked about and mentioned earlier in the meeting tonight.
An ordinance amending zoning ordinances, including ordinance number 590 of the city of LaSalle regarding further regulation concerning that which are commonly referred to as container storage units and/or container buildings and related matters.
Your Honor, I make a motion we approve the ordinance as read. Each alderman has a copy.
I'll second that.
Motion on Reynolds, second on Ted, take the roll, please.
Alderman Thompson.
No.
Attack.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Bassler.
Aye.
Ordinance amending zoning ordinance, including ordinance 590 of the city of LaSalle regarding further regulation that which are commonly referred to as smoke shops, tobacco shops, and/or cigarette shops and related matters.
Your Honor, I make a motion that we approve the ordinance as read. Each alderman has a copy.
Second. Motion on Reynolds, second on Herndon, take the roll, please.
Alderman Attack.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson.
Aye.
Herndon.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Bassler.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
I just want to touch base on a couple things that were actually brought up on comment today. Real quick, as far as trees at Madison Park, it's been an issue we've been looking at the last few years. We lost 4 trees there, at least 4 or 5 that were on that 400 Street side. And we actually have a meeting this week, Mark and I sat in with former Mayor of Ottawa and Tom Baker about trees. And these groups are out there, we apply for grants for trees. They're not the ones that you just see are like this small, they're healthy ones that we can make it. So we're probably looking to see if we bring that information from the council, so we can go over that. And also actually, if we do this, and get like a tree group together, like a board. We think that there's a businessman downtown that wants to kind of head that, which would be great. So more information will come. So hopefully we'll see some trees in those areas. And then maybe they say they put them in different places throughout the city. Doesn't have to be just parks. I think maybe order part two, some places up there that we can, need to go nice. So just an update on that. As far as painting, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what you guys think, but once you paint something, then it's gonna be painted forever. And I think it kind of shows it shows wear and tear after a couple years. So I think we can do that if you guys want that direction. We have a paint crew now, just maybe around the fire hydrants. I think that makes sense, but I don't know if we want to do every corner just because it's a process, and once you do that, it looks, it's something you have forever then. That all doesn't go away, it'll fade. So kind of give me direction if you guys want, but I definitely think understand the point of that. It's a situation where we do it, we're all in. But again, we're obviously trying to do one downtown that already painted, ones around the park and schools. We can definitely look at the fire hydrants. And we don't use the park anymore too much in MH as far as for a baseball field. There's no games there, but I think that's probably a good point to have Linda check on those caps. They're there in case somebody will try to rob somebody with a home run, right? So your arm is get stuck on the top of the fencing, so we can look at that. We might even have some extra that we can replace. So we are hosting the girls softball, which you guys are very well helping out with some money towards the umpires, and the ground crew right now is actually painting little jails around there to make it look nice for the July 6th tournament. So thanks for that. That's all I had. No need for executive session tonight.
Your Honor, I got one thing. I had a few people ask me about our empty lots, that are being for sale. Well, the only way you could really buy one is if you live next door to it, because, we already passed that garage. You couldn't build a garage, and what size house do you gotta build, like 5,000 square feet or something? And all the lots are too small.
So, right, because the homes that were on it before were smaller, and so now, as far as being go down, they're probably not big enough, so it makes more sense to attract most people, our neighbors into the diet, and then they could do one parcel, and then flip the garage that way, or else they could have it, and just have it as an open yard.
Well, are we gonna, maybe lower the square footage? Or, because how else are we gonna get anybody to buy those? The lots that, that aren't next door.
Well, I know in the past, we've never had any problems with not getting bids. I can see if the situation where we had a lot that we want to get rid of, nobody would have bid in for,
Well, we got a lot of them now, don't we?
There's no bid, and we're working on getting signage out there, just so you guys know too, it has to be at least 30 days posted. So once we get that, pay for it, Chris will work on getting signs out there, nothing fancy, just for sale, custody hall for the, information on it. But I think we all decided in the past, we'll just do closed bids and then, open it up, and again, council has final say if you want to accept bids or throw bids out.
We need to get rid of them, just policy this point about.
Is that something, Aubrey, you wanna bring on the agenda, discuss, changing that?
Well, well, let's see if we sell.
Okay.
How many we sell. If we don't sell, we're gonna have to change something in order to get rid of them.
Mayor, one other point I wanted to mention in regard to the planning commission hearing in regard to the cannabis, I think it was indicated that it passed unanimously on both that and the solar farm, but it should also be indicated that while there were some questions by some members of the public, that there was no specific objection by any member of the public, because those, such as the mayor and the other aldermen who were present, and other members who were there, just so that the public is aware of that too.
A lot of discussion. Yes.
I wanted to make a mention about something else that happened over the weekend. They had the big celebration, I guess you'd call it, at the auditorium at LP, for Kay Holly and Ray Orbison, and of course for the old people who remember those folks from way back. Why, the auditorium was about 3/4 full. I thought it went well, and it was well organized, and it went off really well. I do believe that the group who held the musician, they did a really good job, and I think they're gonna be invited back for anybody who missed yesterday.
Anything else, Jim, on this side?
Kev?
Nothing further.
No need for executive session, let's approve the bill.
Total spending $1,163,330.69.
Your Honor, I move that we accept, pay, and file the bills, each and every alderman have a copy.
Motion by Alderman Tax, Alderman Rivera to pay the bills, take the roll, please.
Alderman Bassador.
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Kazak.
Aye.
Reynolds.
Aye.
Blueberry. Jefferson. Herndon. Crane.
Aye.
Your Honor, make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion by Alderman Reynolds, Alderman Crane, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried, thank you for a great meeting, good discussion.
Slow down here, Craig. Jump on it.
Mayor Grove, is the thing at the park going to be wheelchair accessible? Now, I tried to raise my hand to ask you, but you didn't answer me. Mayor Grove, I thought we could ask you any question. Oh, we're supposed to come to you. Yeah, not if you're me, huh? You're welcome for bringing it to your attention. Chief, do you know if it's going to be wheelchair accessible? No. Are you going to apologize yet? I'm waiting for it, bro. You know you did me dirty. I can accept the apology, but not when you don't admit wrongdoing. Have a good day. So as you see, Mayor Grove purposely ignored me, but the guy he's talking to is John Small from WLPO. So he is treating somebody from a different news organization better than me, simply because he doesn't come and speak out against them. Obviously, they keep quiet. Yeah, they didn't give a fuck about the wheelchair access to begin with. He's bragging about all that they finally are getting around to doing when I notified him back in like April. Freaking April, I think it was. And we still don't know if it's going to be flush so a wheelchair could actually go up there. It's very interesting. I know what he's doing. He's trying to piss me off. I had my hand raised for like 15 minutes. I guess I'll just patiently wait. I did wait at the podium before, but they shut off the microphone on me. I'll check it. Hello? No, it's off. They learned from the first time. Okay. But watch the way he's going to treat me. The type of slime bucket he is. I don't say that lightly. If he would just act halfway decent, it'd be perfect. Do you know if the plan for Rotary Park included the wheelchair access?
Yeah.
Is that a no? Didn't your mom raise you better than ignore me? It's rude. Said that was rude. No, I was talking to you.
Hi. I'm good.
Hi, Jeff. Well, I had a question for you about the freaking playground. That's why I raised my hand all that time. I can't hear you. You don't know if it's going to be well, my question is it going to be, are you going to listen to my question? So you don't give a shit about the kids in the wheelchairs?
I don't know any questions or answers at this point in time.
Do you know when I was there?
Talk about it when it's the finished product.
What, when it's finished product, your finished product, but yeah, you're going to be thanking me, aren't you? You're going to say, you know what, that broad got up here and she was right.
I'm so happy with the idea that you bring forward.
Well, you know what you should with that one, because we both know there was a lot of problems there, Jeff. And I hope it's flush. I hope it's flush.
I don't care who gets credit, I'm just glad it gets done.
I don't care who gets credit either. I was actually proud of you. I was proud of you guys. Oh, I don't need your thank you, honey buns. I don't need your thank you.
Many
What?
companies thank you, and they appreciate that, and I don't appreciate you.
For what?
For bringing ideas.
Oh, we should really. I mean, Peru does.
That's something you need, I know.
Oh, I need that? I need
Need
that.
information, and I'm fine to give you that.
I need information.
No, information.
Oh, no, honey buns, I don't. You know what? When my daughter goes there and she's having a flare, she has every right to go there and ride in her wheelchair, not fucking flip over. That's
End
why.
result is it's gonna be fixed. That's my goal. So I'm glad, I don't care who gets credit for it, I'm glad.
It doesn't matter as long as you get it done, Jeff. I don't need your affirmation. I've been doing this long before I came here dicking around with you.
Same page.
Okay? Be a better man, Jeff. Have some integrity.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Oh, you got a good show.
Yeah, well, I got your email and, thank you for.
What do you go about, 6'6"?
Stand up, I'm 6'9".
Oh my God, it's
So Mayor Grove says I need affirmation, as if it wasn't public to begin with. It doesn't matter though. I tried to ask him about it to find out if it's going to be flush instead of 2 inches higher. And you heard the nasty way he spoke to me. Apparently that's how he expects his family members that are females to be spoken to, Jeff. You're shameful.
Yes. Full-time.
Can I squeeze behind you, bro?
And then we'd have,
Hey, I
several
told him.
seasonal, but our seasonals, like our harvest time employees.
Didn't get as heated as last
10,
time.
15 from there.
Didn't get as heated as last time.
Illinois. Yeah. Every, 4 weeks, per week, something like that.
You're gonna be harvesting a bud?
I know, he needs some pot.
We're shooting for six times a year. But there's also, move everything around, it's a whole production.
So 7 weeks, then maybe 8 weeks.
Yep. And that's a 1,500 square foot canopy that we'd be harvesting.
How is that gonna be?
So, this goober tries to say that I want an affirmation. I forget what I thought he even originally said, but he didn't say that. But he tried to say that after I have had to repeatedly hound him to get this stuff done. If he was normal, like Peru, they'd just get it done, take care of it.
We've got a vault in there as well. We have a vault.
Grove.
So everything's locked out, nice, it's solid for it,
So the plants, thank you for
Good night.
Can I tell you something, Pete?
Can you tell me something?
Yeah. This will be the final time that you'll be completely free of me asking you the 5 elements of the First Amendment. I won't tell you when it's coming. It could come when I randomly see you. Could come here.
Did you just want me to recite them to you?
Do you want to?
I don't like doing anything on video.
Look, I don't even got you on video then. I remember you saying, look.
Speech, religion, press, assembly, petition.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
See? That's all I wanted.
I told you, I just don't like being in videos, that's all. Because people comment and shit like that, and I don't mind having a conversation with you. It's just, it's a conversation between me and you, and not everyone.
No, I hear you. That's why I purposely don't keep it on you.
And I do appreciate it, and I tell people, like, I don't have a problem with it. She does it very respectfully.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why I was like, I'm sorry. Excited.
No,
Like,
you're
I see it at the gym, and I'm like, I have no time. I mean, I know you're not recording because you said, but I'll talk to you. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't bother me.
You don't bother me.
We look at each other, exchange giggles with some of the things. I get it. You're fine.
Yeah, And you know what? The thing with Mayor Grove, me and him arguing, he brought that to this. It should have never got to that. And I'll do it again. You take care. Be safe tonight. So, Pete Sides does know the 5 elements of the First Amendment. He told me on the phone, and I was calling about something or another else to do with Bray. He told me he didn't really like to be on the camera and stuff. And, if somebody's really actually honest about that, I try to respect that for the most part. Anyway, according to Mayor Grove, I need the affirmation. So now I'm going to, what am I? seeking attention and seeking affirmation. No, actually, when somebody raises their hand to ask further questions about something that was actually pertinent, and actually it is important for my own family members, let alone, like last time I was there, there was handicapped adults, on their little day trips to there. And apparently I'm seeking affirmation. Typical woman. These broads just don't quit, do they? Fucking whining about something, forgot her tampons at home, bitching about the bathroom, right? That's literally how he is. I know, good job, Pete. He's a nice guy. I'm glad he didn't try to give me some type of issue that one day. I wasn't sure. Was not sure. But yeah, yeah, he could be. I mean, and I get people run their mouths, but I mean, I don't know if he's doing it right and being halfway respectful. That's all we really need. Anyway, as you guys saw, I raised my hand for probably like 15 minutes trying to just ask that question about if it's going to be flush or not. I wasn't asking for a hoorah angel like he's trying to act like. We all know who called his ass out because I had to repeatedly call him out to get it done, to get it started. And then one of the aldermen had to show pictures when I tried to come straight to him. So we'll be addressing that next time. We certainly will, won't we, Jeffy? Yeah, Pete did a good job, though. And I wanted to randomly jump on him with that one day, but I did want to warn him, like, hey, I wasn't doing it yet, but now I'm doing it. But now I don't have to because he knew him. He did a good job. And I kept him off camera like he wanted, and he felt more comfortable. So that's all good. Brent, do you know if they're gonna make it flush for that addition to the playground? If it's gonna, it was hard to tell. That's why I tried to ask Grove, but he told me I was looking for affirmation. Okay, well, if you do find out, you have my number. Could you call me? Because that, number one, it's a concern for me, for my own children, but for others. Yeah, because like a wheelchair is supposed to be able to go up there, but currently there's like a 2-inch, that vertical thing that I brought up months ago. And your mayor thought that he should insult me for being an affirmation-seeking freaking broad. And I didn't appreciate that. I think that's more of just a whole like punch in the face over me being a woman. Because all we do is seek affirmation and whatever. I'll find out. Yeah, that's the reason I raised my hand, but he had to turn it into me addressing it afterwards. But he's got to learn how to treat people, and that ain't it. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll look into it. Yeah, because my question wasn't anything about me. It was just simply about that, about how they're going to get on there if they fixed it. Well, have a good day. Hey, you too, Brent. Good to see you. Have a good night. You too, Mr. Gumball. I was going to call you that in the meeting, and I chose not to. I chose to not be petty. All right, take care. You too. Don't ever try to get a cop on me for no reason again, John, because if there was a reason, there'd be an incident report or a police report. Hey, but we live in Peru. We don't got to deal with that crap, right? Good to see you. I like your shoes. They're fresh. Is that John's big old truck? That's a nice truck. I have to give him. Gotta tell him that. You know why, though? He makes a shit ton of money. So he's got a beautiful truck. See that? Can't tell. It's like gray. Do they have wheelchairs? Actually, let me show you. They're just redoing this. I don't know if it doesn't look like it's completely finished yet. But they actually, this is the old one over there. That's like what it was. But they're making this all nice and fresh for the people to go in. So they can come up from this way with no steps. So good for them. Bye! Be mean to me. I'm mad at him after what he did. But yeah, because otherwise they have these steps. But yeah, they do have that accessible now. Or, well, pretty much fully. Yeah, he's definitely overcompensating for something. Don't know what. Must be his sprawling, great personality. Keep those rocks from going in the sidewalk. Yeah, who knows though, kids could come by and step on them and throw them, pick them up for their rock collection. But yeah, that's about all we have for today. As you see, Mayor Grove thinks I need affirmation now. That and the attention and all this other stuff all seems to be a dig at me because I am a female and I am a stronger female than he is a male. So I don't know how to take that, but that is where we're at. I think I brought all my stuff. I don't know. I just had stuff everywhere in there. I was falling apart. I did forget, or maybe I did bring up on the phone, these crosswalks are almost non-visible. They're very light in person. I think it'd be good to just kind of paint over those. I forget if I brought it up though. I probably did. I'd call them for all sorts of problems. Anyway, that's all we have for today in the town of LaSalle. Tyrant Jeff Grove. I don't know why he can't just treat people fairly, and then he could probably expect that they'd treat him equally as fairly. But I guess I'm gonna have to match energy. I don't know. He knows I'm not gonna go away at the end of the meeting, so I might as well just call on me and let me ask. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Bye. Wait, I can't get out. I got my stuff in my hands.